What is up, boys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another episode, another podcast episode. I said it was coming. And it's finally here. We are back with the reaction videos for the Chelsea games. I know you guys have been missing this. I know the haters have been missing it as well. Some people calling out for early kickoff curses, etc., etc. But Chelsea make it through with flying colors. A 3-0 victory at King Power Stadium against Leicester City. What a game, boys. What a game. Honestly, my voice is gone because I was screaming during the game. We played so well. So good. So good. Why Chelsea played so good?
A lot of praise. Why Chelsea plays so good?
Oh, I love it. I love today's game, not only because of the intensity at which we played, the intensity with which we defended. You can see the defending doesn't really start from the defense. It starts with the attackers, and the intensity from them to hunt players down when they've lost the ball or when they're building up play is immense. The way Thomas Tuchel has set this team up, has set the system up for the players to utilize their strengths in their particular positions to their best, for the better of the team, is just absolutely beautiful to watch. It's just beautiful to watch, and it's working so well for this team. And very few teams are able to understand and secondly counter this kind of game plan, because it requires 95 minutes or 90 minutes and more of just continuous pressure on Chelsea, which is not possible, which is not human. And the only team to have done that this season is Manchester City. Credit to them, they did that, but it took a lot out of them to do that, and that speaks volumes for Chelsea. We obviously have our issues up front with our finishing and our decision making, but that, as we are seeing, is being spread out all through the team. We had 18 different goal scorers this season already. We're just 12 games into the season and we have 18 different goal scorers, which is insane. Oh man, beautiful stuff. Let's dive into the lineups first, and then we will go over tactics, etc. Alright, so as you can see, this was the setup for today's game. Chelsea going with a 3-4-3 and Leicester doing the same. They went man to man, went with the same formation, tried to counter this Chelsea team from building up, but obviously very unsuccessful at it. Mendy in goal for Chelsea today. Obviously, Mendy between the sticks. Thiago Silva, Chalobah and Rudiger, Jorginho, Kante in midfield, Chilwell and James as the wing backs, Callum Hudson-Odoi and Mason Mount as the number 10s, and Kai Havertz as the false 9 up front. For Leicester, we have Kasper Schmeichel in goal, Amati, Evans and Soyuncu, Albrighton and Castagna as the fullbacks, Soumare and Ndidi as the two midfielders, Barnes and Lookman as their wingers, and Vardy as the sole number 9. So this is how Chelsea and Leicester set up. Obviously, it was like Leicester have been doing this over a period of time, trying to match Chelsea man for man, formation for formation, and it has worked for them. It worked for them in the FA Cup. But they had Tielemans, they had Maddison starting that game as well. It's a little different setup to what it is right now. Maybe that did play a part in this game in the way that Leicester look a bit weakened, and Chelsea definitely took advantage of that situation. But let's look at what happened throughout the game in this first half. Especially first half, I think really showed how far Leicester are away from Chelsea in terms of the way Chelsea were building up, in terms of the tactics, in terms of what Chelsea did to counter Leicester's pressing. Okay, so as we know already, Thiago Silva always stays close to the keeper in the build-up, right? Thiago Silva is always very close by. Rudiger and Chalobah stay wide, and this allows Barnes and Lookman to be wider, away from Vardy, to not allow those 1-2 passes and then Vardy's through one goal, and to play him behind Thiago Silva. And Vardy was obviously on Thiago Silva. Jorginho and Kante thus took up these kind of positions very, very close so that they could help build up play through the center and form triangles there. Now, Chilwell and James were always wide, and oftentimes you even and I think in the second half we'll see them move towards the center, but in the first half they were very, very wide, and this allowed for Callum Hudson-Odoi and Mason Mount to drop in very, very deep, either one to drop very deep, collect the ball, because Sumare and Ndidi are on the two midfielders, and Mount has all the space in the world. Sionchu isn't going to track him right to the center, so Mount has all the time and space in the world, and he carries the ball, or it's Callum Hudson-Odoi who drops it and carries the ball then up front, and then just opens up passing lanes, because all Brighton and Castagna are then forced to mark and keep a tabs on the fullbacks of Chelsea. So that leaves a lot of room, especially because Kante was joining the attack many times, and that's how his goal came. Have us move here, Mason Mount at the center and Kante here, and basically this was basically how it was. The lesser defenders would drop off to the center, and Reece James and Chilwell occupying the wing back, Sumare and Ndidi not fast enough to catch Chelsea on the break, and this was pretty much the story of the entire first half. Chelsea were building up in this way, 4 versus 3 in the center, and they created so many different opportunities. The decision making was, like I said, quite poor in the final third, and maybe we should have had even 3 or 4 goals in that first half. But moving into the second half, we obviously Leicester made some changes. Okay, and so in the second half, this is how Leicester City set up. They had a change in formation. They brought in Iheanacho and Maddison, and had a 2 up front with a number 10 who could drop deep into midfield, help with the defense, help with the outnumbering in midfield, and can also track back, but also can play between the lines and provide passes such as this, or move into the wide areas and free room there, and put in crosses into the box for Jamie Vardy, which we saw was a huge chance for Jamie Vardy, and he should have scored that goal. But overall, although this change in formation did pose a lot of threats to Chelsea, it was just a very, very good day in the office for the boys at the back in Chelsea's defense, and Mendy too, who made some very, very good saves, especially from that one long range shot from Daniel Amati, which was heading top pins. By the way, that was heading top pins, and I'm over the moon that Edouard Mendy made that save, because we all know how we feel about Daniel Amati, don't we? Especially Chelsea fans in the who are watching this video. We know why we don't like Amati, and so to have this guy score against us, not today. But anyway, Chelsea in the second half played a lot through the center. Kai Havertz dropping right very, very deep, playing 1-2s with Kante also was very, very high up the pitch. Callum Hudson-Odoi, Mason Mount were almost in the wider areas, and Reece James and Chilwell were dropping into the center, which was so cool to watch, especially in the build-up phases when Leicester really tried to press Chelsea in these wide areas. When Chalo had the ball, when Rudiger had the ball, they really tried to press them quite high up the pitch and tried to outnumber them. And they won the ball many times as well. They won the ball quite a few times, but weren't able to do anything, because we had the Rolls Royce of defenders up there at the back in defense with Thiago Silva. Man, he was truly my man of the match today. He was so calm, so composed. He's just a blessing to have. He's such a blessing to have in this team, man. His energy, the way he conducts himself on the pitch, you're never gonna see another like him. But yeah, this was the story in the second half. We had Mason Mount come off for Ziyech, who came on, and Pulisic instead of Havertz, and Ruben Loftus-Cheek came on for Jorginho, who went off injured, and hopefully that's nothing too bad, and he'll recover very very quickly for the next game. But this was the story pretty much the entire game. Leicester were trying initially in the second half, but Chelsea really used possession to work for them, and when you have possession you can't get attacked, and so because of that they just dominated Leicester. They tried to create chances by Pulisic dropping deep, or Callum Hudson-Odoi dropping deep, or Ziyech Ziyech dropping deep, and James and Chilwell were very very key to make. Chilwell is making runs beyond the defense, and James is dropping into the defense, which is so confusing for Leicester players because they didn't know what the hell was going on. It was beautiful to watch from Chelsea. Absolute master. All credit needs to go to Thomas Tuchel, who has absolutely created a beautiful system for the Chelsea team to work with, and it's working to perfection. We are now 6 points clear of the top, and it's the blue flag is flying high, boys. The blue flag is flying high. I could not be happier with this performance. Obviously I wrote down 5-0 here earlier on, just for kicks. Obviously the scoreline was 3-0. This was my initial prediction. I thought we were gonna win 5-0. But I mean, it could have been 5-0 if I'm being very honest. It could have been 5-0, but it was a solid performance. And my man of the match definitely is Thiago Silva. A wonderful day in the office for the boys in yellow today as we take 3 points home with us. Thomas Tuchel, this Chelsea team are something special. They are something special. My voice is gone. I'm so sorry that I'm not as gassed as I need to be for this, but man, we have beaten the early kickoff course multiple times this season. Now it has to be a myth now. Thomas Tuchel has been nothing short of an absolute blessing to this club, and I'm so happy with the way this team is performing right now. Long may it continue, boys. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is the end of today's video. This is the reaction you all have been waiting for a very very long time, and what a day for it to come. Next week we have United coming up, and we have Juventus in the Champions League coming up as well. Big games for Chelsea. Hopefully the players are fit, hopefully the players are ready to go, because so are we. I will see you boys very very soon. Thank you guys for watching. Like the damn video, subscribe if you are new. This has been David Francisco, and I will see you boys next time. Peace.